Are you in a long distance relationship and worried about whether or not your relationship can survive? I mean, they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder, but some people say out of sight, out of mind. Well, in this video, I'm going to share 5 tips based on solid psychological science that could potentially make your long distance relationship better than a geographically close relationship. Sounds crazy, I know, but it's true. You've got to watch this video because these tips will make your relationship stronger than ever, even if it's not a long distance relationship. So don't go anywhere because we're starting in 4 seconds. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Antonio Borello. Welcome to another video. I'm a psychologist and relationship coach, and I make weekly dating and relationship advice videos. This channel is all about helping you build great relationships so you can grow happy with the people you love. So if you're interested in making your love life the best part of your life, start now by clicking the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Okay, on to our topic. 5 tips for an amazing long distance relationship. Most people believe that trying to do a long distance relationship is crazy, or it's not sustainable, and it's even heart-wrenching. And in some ways, they have a point. I mean, relationships are hard enough, even without dealing with all of the disadvantages that long distance relationships have, such as missing the other person or lack of physical contact and expensive traveling to see one another. And yet, so many people end up doing the long distance thing for the simple reason that they've met someone amazing and that they're in love or they're falling in love. And when you're in love, the feeling is so rare and urgent, you're willing to do whatever it takes to make it work. And modern technology such as FaceTime and Skype and social media and texting allow people to stay connected more than ever before. And because so many people are doing long distance, it has become the subject of many recent psychological studies that have yielded surprising findings, including the fact that many couples in long distance relationships report feeling more satisfied with their partner and more emotionally connected and emotionally intimate than their geographically close counterparts. And another benefit, couples doing long distance report that missing someone keeps that romantic spark alive for a much longer time. So yeah, it can definitely be amazing, but only if you're able to use to your advantage the issues that make long distance relationships unique, so that your relationship becomes even stronger. In other words, there are things that you can do to turn your long distance disadvantages into relationship strengths. So make sure you watch this video all the way till the end, because these tips work best when you're able to implement them all together. So without further ado, let's get right into them. Number 1, have a long-term plan. If you're going to do a long-distance relationship, you must have an end in mind. In other words, going into long-distance relationships without a plan means that there's no end in sight. If neither you or your partner could see yourselves living together in the future, then the relationship has an expiration date from the start. So yeah, both you and your partner should have an end in mind. There are so many couples that are students that are in university and they live in different cities. And these relationships work because there is an end date in mind. Upon graduating, they know that they're going to be together. But if for whatever reason you can't ever be living together, what's the point of the relationship anyway? If there isn't a foreseeable date when the two of you could be living together or close together, you're going to have some huge problems in the relationship with no end in sight. Number 2, you've got to believe in your relationship. Relationships aren't made in heaven. I mean, they come in individual kits that take time and effort to put together. Any relationship, even the convenient ones, take work and commitment. So if a couple is willing to take on the extra difficulties that come with being apart, they must really like each other and believe in the relationship. So let me give you some evidence. A study from Cornell University published in 2013 found that couples in long distance relationships feel more intimate with their partners than those who live in the same area. They value what little time they have together during visits or over the phone so greatly that they optimize these moments emotionally. Also, long distance lovers were also more accepting of their partner's behavior and felt more committed to each other. In that sense, being in a long-distance relationship can create feelings of relationship security because it's obvious that you are both willing to make it work. So you have to believe in your relationship and believe that you two are so fortunate to have found each other and have such an amazing connection with each other. And lastly, when you have greater belief in your relationship, when you have stronger belief and certainty about the future of your relationship, you'll also have something more concrete to look forward to and to take solace in when times are tough. Number 3, Communication is key. According to the same 2013 study published in the Journal of Communication, people in long-distance relationships were more likely to share meaningful thoughts and feelings with their partners than those who were in a normal relationship. The study also found that people in long-distance relationships often have stronger bonds from more constant and deeper communication than normal couples. So, if you try harder to stay connected in communicating your affection and intimacy, your efforts will certainly pay off in the form of stronger bonds. Number 4, patience and trust. When you're wrapped up in your long-distance relationship, it's hard to remember that your partner has a whole other life that you don't quite understand, especially in the beginning. They have a job, a social life, and family needs that take up their time. As much as you'd like to spend hours on the phone with each other, they've got to be to work on time, and so do you. So patience is key in these situations. Of course, you miss your partner and you ache to see them again and to talk to them, but that ache is exactly what fuels the desire and passion in the relationship. Sometimes that may mean not talking for a day or so, but when you do, you'll find it's worth the wait. Besides patience, you have to trust each other. One of the biggest challenges for any couple is trust. And that can be an even bigger challenge when you're living apart. When you're in a long-distance relationship, you're not going to be able to verify what the other person is doing. That simply isn't an option. You've got to take a leap of faith and trust your partner. So, set rules and boundaries and discuss everything that might come up and have a plan to deal with it. Talk about situations that could come up and discuss them and agree upon how you should handle them. Doing this strengthens trust and helps both partners feel more secure. Number 5, embrace your independence and focus on you. Being in a long-distance relationship forces couples to have their own lives because you can't spend 24/7 FaceTiming and Skype calling. And yes, it can be lonely, but you can use that loneliness to motivate you to get stuff done and to focus on your goals. And while you're doing that, you're becoming a stronger and more confident person. Again, focus on the big picture and do things that will be beneficial to both you and the relationship in the long run. So, pick up some hobbies, make and keep plans with your friends, fill up your social calendar, appreciate and nurture your relationship with yourself. Get to know the real you on a deep level. Because many people have a tendency to lose themselves in relationships. They start doing everything their partner does, or they change themselves in an effort to be liked more. Now is your chance to truly get to know yourself, the real you, and develop the self-love that will ensure that your relationship develops in the most healthy way. When I started this video, I had planned on sharing just 5 tips that make your long-distance relationship stronger. But I realized that there are 2 more quick tips that I can't overlook. So keep watching because these 2 are super important and even game-changing. So number 6 is to make sure to do things together while you're apart. One of the best ways to stay close in a long-distance relationship is to have an activity that you both do together while you're apart. For example, you could stream and watch a TV show together and talk about what's happening. Or you can pick something on Netflix so that you can do it whenever you have time and then call each other up and start the episode at the same time. Or you could play online or mobile games together or against one another. See, this might require some creativity, but it's so worth it. It creates shared experiences even though you're apart. And you're going to feel a lot more connected than if you just call each other every other day or so. Whatever it is, the most important thing is that you're doing it together and you do it consistently. Number 7, always have the next visit planned. Visits are the highlight of every long-distance relationship. After all the waiting and yearning and abstinence, you finally get to meet each other to fill all the little things like kissing and holding hands. These are things that other couples often take for granted, but they can be very special and extra intimate for people in long-distance relationships. It'll be like fireworks. So visit as often as possible and make visiting plans as soon as possible. This gives you something concrete to look forward to. Look, if your relationship has to go long distance for a while, don't despair. I mean, it's hard to be away from each other, but your relationship really can take it. In fact, past research has shown that long distance couples are no more likely to break up than geographically close couples. And remember, relationships are not made in heaven. they take work, whether they are long distance or close distance. It takes both parties working together. And sometimes it's 50-50, sometimes it's 60-40, and other times it's 40-60. But it's all about balancing each other and supporting one another when needed. So I made this video because I've had many questions from people who are currently in a long distance relationship. And I love hearing about your situations. So if that's your situation, if you're currently in a long distance relationship, or if you've been one, I'd love to hear your story. Leave a comment below and I promise to respond to all of them. That's it for this video. If you found it informative and helpful, please take a minute to hit that thumbs up button. And if you want to make your love life the best part of your life, make sure that you subscribed and that you hit that bell notification so you aren't missing anything. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.